Subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report because, hey, we got the latest Chiefs news, rumors, we do mailbags, draft coverage with the draft just around the corner as well. No one covers the Chiefs like we do here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. And, hey, it's mailbag time on today's show. Let's start with Taylor Gant here. Who is our target now that O-line is less important? Let's pull up the biggest draft needs here, Brett. I think you look ideally at one of these top three needs because I think it's close between edge, wide receiver, and corner. You got 2 second-round picks. I think it's BPA at one of those positions. Whoever the highest-rated player on Brett Veach and Andy Reid's draft board is at edge, wide receiver, or corner, that's the player I'm taking, unless they re-sign Bashaud Breeland before the draft. If you re-sign Bashaud Breeland, I don't think you need to take a corner early. That's just my opinion. But, yeah, I think edge, corner, and receiver are 3 spots I'm looking at if I'm Kansas City heading into the draft. And obviously O-line's not a need because Orlando Brown is now your left tackle, and we know all the moves Brett Veach made earlier this offseason. Your offensive line is deep. It's in good shape. I don't even know if you need to draft an offensive lineman in this draft. You went from left tackle being leaps and bounds your best need to you probably don't even need to draft an offensive lineman. If you want to draft a center, I'm down. But other than that, I mean, you're in great shape after the Orlando Brown trade. If you like the Orlando Brown trade, like the video right now. Just hit that thumbs up icon. Hey, I don't know why you wouldn't like the trade. Maybe some Ravens fans are watching this video and they're upset by this move. But, hey, I love it. I'm hitting that thumbs up icon. You guys should as well if you're a fan of this move. Nick, Super Chat, appreciate that. 2 second-round picks. I say we draft Creed Humphrey and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I wouldn't hate that. You get your future of the center. He can learn a year behind Austin Blythe. And then you get a more physical type of receiver out of USC. 6'1", about 200 pounds. More of a possession type of player, which is a different look at receiver than what Kansas City has had in the past. I'd be okay with that. Yeah, Nick, I got no problems there. Mariners fan, interesting. Should they sign Rick Wagner? I don't really think so. I think you're set up front. I think you focus on the draft now, and then you circle back to free agency afterward. Isamori, do we still need a wide receiver? Yes. You need a receiver because we saw last year when Sammy Watkins went down that, look, McCole Hardman didn't really take off, right? I'm not convinced they trust him to be a number 2 wide receiver, and if you don't, you probably need to draft one. That's just the reality of the situation. Kids NFL Network, will we still have a sign at Antonio Brown or Melvin Ingram or get Russell Okung for a mentor? He's not signing with the team to be a mentor. He wants to play. I think he would have been a fallback option after the draft had the Chiefs not gone tackle in round 1 or 2. I think he signs elsewhere now. I think you could circle back to Melvin Ingram if you want to get him for cheap as a secondary edge rusher. I'm down. AB, you know, it's tempting. I can't lie. You cannot downplay his impact with the Bucs last year. I'm sorry, you can't do it. Non-guaranteed deal, come play with Mahomes. Let's do it. I'm on board. And I never thought I would say that. Dub Freak Freer, do we still draft offensive line in the 2nd or 3rd for injury insurance? Only center. Maybe a right tackle, but I think, look, you look at the O-line, left tackle, you're set for the next decade. Joe Tooney, you're good to go. Austin Blythe, it's a 1-year deal, so I think if Creed Humphrey or Landon Dickerson is there in round 2, that's tempting. LDT and Kyle Long, I think that's your competition at right guard. And then Mike Rimmers and Lucas Niang is your competition at right tackle. Guys, what do you need? Maybe a center? And you don't need one. You can draft one if you want. It's not just like you have a good starting 5. Remember, you still have Andrew Wiley. Andrew Wiley is a good quality depth offensive lineman. You go, Nick Allegretti played a lot last year. You go 8, 9, 10 deep now up front. I don't think you need an offensive lineman. Rasta Coffman, will Byron Pringle be a sneaky number 2 this year? Look, I'm team get Pringle more reps. We saw at the end of the year last year, he was getting more run than Demarcus Robinson in the playoffs. Now, they're both back. I do think it'll be one of 2 things. It's going to be competition galore after Tyreek Hill with Hardman, Pringle, and Robinson. Who emerges, we'll see. Or the Chiefs are going to draft someone. That's what I think is going to happen. Outside chance of AB, who knows? But I would like to see Byron Pringle get more opportunities because when he has gotten some, he's done a pretty good job. Not a what? When do you think Orlando Brown will be signed, not or at the end of this year? So to an extension, I think it sounds like they want to get it done ASAP, like just ASAP Rocky, get that deal done. I would anticipate this deal happens before training camp because you don't want to go into camp with any potential friction there. He's a guy that wants to get paid, obviously, and deserves to get paid. Get that done. I'd like to see it get done before the draft, and I don't think you could completely rule that out as a possibility. So I think before the season for sure, I would be shocked if this lingered into the year. You don't trade for a guy on the final year of his contract unless you're ready to pay up, and I think the Chiefs will definitely be ready to do that. What is your one-word reaction to the Orlando Brown trade? Amped. I mean, I'm psyched. I'm fired up. I'm ready to go and watch this football team play. I think I think this move makes this team favorites going into next year to win it all. So one-word reaction to the Orlando Brown trade. Go ahead and let me know. Big Jack. So where does this leave us this year as far as how many picks we have? Good question. 6 draft picks. So you got 2 second-round picks. You got one from Baltimore. No third, no first. Those both went to the Ravens. You got number 144 overall as well. Your other 4th-round pick went to Baltimore. Keep that in mind. And then 2 5th-round picks, including 1 comp, and a 6th-round pick. So, hey, 2 second-round picks. 2 top 65ers there, 6 overall. When you trade for a starting left tackle, you're going to lose some picks, but to get a second back, I think that's pretty good. I like where the Chiefs sit heading into the draft. The good news is they don't have any major needs, so now you can just go best player available when you're picking. So that's a good situation. Henry Brown, will Nick Bolton fall to us? He's been a player linked to Kansas City, a local kid, played at Mizzou. I think he's anywhere from mid-second to mid-third. I like him. I wouldn't mind using one of those second-round picks on him. I just don't value linebackers as much these days. I'm still team free Willie Gay. We'll bring that hashtag back, but yeah, he could be an option. Bryson Wheeler, do you think the Chiefs could trade to get a first-rounder back? Not saying they need it, but imagine it. Veach strikes again. I love the hashtag. Look, with 2 seconds, it's possible to get up. Now, you don't have a third, and they are 2 seconds at the end of the second, but you could trade your 2 seconds and your 4th to get into the back of the first, maybe, but I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll take those 2 second-round picks and probably just sit there. Taylon Miller, do you think we will draft a linebacker? I do. I don't know if it'll be in the second round. So, and hey, another option, you could trade down still. You could use one of those second-round picks, pick up a third maybe, something like that, to get a little bit more volume in the middle of the draft. Could be an option. It depends on how they feel about Willie Gay. If they feel like he can be an every down linebacker this year, then it's not a major priority. Join us live on Chat Sports for the NFL Draft. You guys see the link below on screen right there, youtube.com/chatsportstv. The Chiefs Report is one of our many channels on YouTube, a part of the Chat Sports Network, and we'll be live for every single round, every single pick, all 3 days, starting next Thursday, April 29th. Join us. You don't want to miss any of the coverage. You'll see all the Chiefs picks over there, and obviously here on the Chiefs Report, we'll break down the picks also, but if you just love the NFL Draft as a whole and want to see the Chiefs picks in real time, this is the place to be, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Alex M., does Kadarius Toney fall to us in the second round? If he's there at 58, take him. I think that's a home run pick. Could Rondale Moore be there? Maybe. Could I don't think a Terrace Marshall will fall that far. This is a good receiver class, though. There's some good depth, so it's possible one of those dudes falls, and then that becomes a home run pick, in my opinion. Stephen Beal, I see Brett picking the best tall wide receiver or a monster-size edge. Yeah, maybe Brett Veach, who you're talking about there, obviously the Chiefs GM. Yeah, they could look at a more physical type of receiver. Guys like Rashad Bateman and Terrace Marshall could have been in range at 31, but you're not going to get them in the second round. Could you get a guy like Trevon Grimes in the 4th? Maybe. A lot of the guys that could fall to you in the second are probably more of those speedy type of players. So we'll see how the draft plays out, but I do think wide receiver will be a position to target.